What's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome back to the Passive Income Network. My name is C. Will for those who don't know, and for everyone else, welcome back. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, y'all. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So we're going to be diving in about the SEC and the CFTC. That's the SEC and the Futures Commodity Trading Commission. They're moving to harmonize cryptocurrency. Remember, we had Gary Gensler, who was running the SEC. He was making it hard for crypto under the Biden administration. Then we will talk about Ripple, XRP, give y'all a Ripple date for the XRP army and anyone who's interested in that information. And then we'll finish off with some Ondo Finance. So we got some explosive news to talk about. I want y'all hit that like button. Say what's good in the chat as you join the stream. And we're going to start this stream off with some cryptocurrency price action. Let's get to it. Starting off at the top, as I like to do, it's Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin is sitting at $71,270 at the time of this video. And I think what's important is you can kind of see it down here to the right side, the 7-day percentages. A lot of green, okay? A lot of green. So crypto's been doing pretty good this last week. The fear and greed index, okay, it is at 31. It's been getting also better over time, and we're getting close to a $2.5 trillion market cap. We want to see that market cap go higher. So let's get in a little deeper into Bitcoin. Again, for the past year, we're down. Bitcoin is down 15.5%. And as I showed y'all on the last stream, it's getting better on the monthly. This is a trading sideways. It looks like it's trying to find the bottom. And the last week, this dip here got gobbled up, and we up 6% for the last week. And then today up 0.5%. It's looking real good. I like what I see here. Now we got Ethereum sitting at $2,095 for the past year, up 9.6%, really solid, and up 7.6% for the past month, and up almost 7% for the past week. I think right now, Ethereum is looking like the best crypto asset, in my opinion, looking like the best crypto asset. So the average crypto RSI, so this is the average relative strength index of the cryptocurrency selected. So let's click here, and we're getting a 52 of oversold, okay, versus overbought. So a 52. And if we go to, let me go to trading view to show y'all what it looks like here on Bitcoin in general. We'll go to Bitcoin. I'll share this tab here. We got an RSI of 54 on the daily chart for Bitcoin. And then the RSI is at 35 on the weekly, just crossing back up out of 30. So if you're an options trader or anything of that nature, this is that type of situation where you might want to put your eyes on Bitcoin because it is actually making a great move. I would like it to see a weekly close above this line here, which I have marked, which was the previous all-time high of 74,000, and a few closes above here on the weekly. I think we in a great position. Now let's get back to coin market cap. Let's check out the top dogs. BNB price currently sitting at $657. Okay, $657 for the past year. We see it up 10%, almost 11. The past month, 7%. So a lot of these are looking very similar, looking really good in the past month and week in general. And then we'll go to XRP, 40%, down 40% the past year, up 4% for the month, 4% for the week, and currently up almost 1% for the day. So XRP is also looking pretty good, pretty good. So what we're gonna do is get to, next we're gonna get to some headlines, okay? So if y'all got any comments in the chat, please leave them. We're gonna talk about it, we're gonna discuss it. Let's see what we got here. Plum Network is a sleeper. Is it Plum or Plume? I think it's Plume Network, right? Plume Network, okay? Put some tickers in the chat. Plume Network, okay? Let's see if we got the right one here, Plume Network. Yeah, I think it was the first one I seen. Plume Network. Okay. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Plume. Okay. So let's go to Plume Network. So we got Plume on CoinMarketCap pulled up. Let's go to it. It is down 92% in the past year. That's not odd for an altcoin. Okay. Ranked number 329. That means it's got a market cap of 60 million, a small cap, up 7% for the month. The dip has got bought up, and we're up about 4% for the week with 1% for the day. Okay, so that's Plume Network. And if we go pull up the website here, we got on-chain asset management, transforming assets into globally accessible financial tools with true crypto native utility. So we're going to dive in deeper on this one another time. It's on my radar. Real worlds that feel like crypto, RWAs, 200 partners, 5 billion assets. Okay, this is looking definitely interesting. Thank you for sharing Plume Network, right? Not Plum, though, it's Plume. All right, so let's get to the main headlines today. If y'all got any other tickers you want me to check out, put it in the chat. So the main headlines we want to talk about today, this is very interesting, okay? If you've been following Bitmine and Tom Lee, this is what I say. Ethereum is looking good, and Tom Lee thinks it's looking good as well. Tom Lee's Bitmine buys $10.2 million in ETH directly from Ethereum Foundation. That is an over-the-counter purchase, okay? Over the counter. The Ethereum Foundation said Saturday that it sold 5,000 Ethereum for approximately 10 million to Tom Lee's Bitmine Immersive Technologies. That's that boy Tom Lee right there, that man going in. So Tom is under the water right now in terms of unrealized gains, but he's like, I'm still buying the dip. That's a good sign, I think. As I told y'all, Ethereum is a token or a coin, cryptocurrency that I think is an undervalued gem right now, to be honest. So if we go look at Ethereum on the trading view chart, especially looking at the weekly, it's very similar to what I said to you about Ethereum, or Bitcoin rather. Okay, very similar. RSI at 35 on the weekly. That run up, and if we can get a few closes above the 200 SMA, which is basically 2,500, I think Ethereum runs. Looking at it on the daily chart, it is just hovering on this line, which is a level of support, okay, a resistance rather. We want to turn this to support and then slowly creep up. So Ethereum looking good, and Tom Lee thinks the same thing. Now this next story, let me know what y'all think about Tom Lee and Ethereum. This next story, I think it's kind of funny. You know, President Trump is obviously in the headlines for a lot more than crypto these days. So let's check this one out. This story by Oliver Knight, okay? One mysterious investor made $2.5 million in profit in hours by betting big on the latest Trump gala news. Is it gala or gala? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. A dormant crypto whale just bet $7 million on the Trump meme coin after a new Mar-a-Lago gala was announced, sparking a 60% rally for the struggling token. Is that Barron? Y'all tell me if that's Barron Trump. You know, they love doing insider stuff right there before we know what's happening. Yeah, so it looked like someone made a lot of profit from Trump's meme coin, okay? And if we go pull it up on CoinMarketCap, this coin is down 67% year to date. 1 year chart. The 1 month chart up 23%. That's obviously announcement about a gala, okay? And then 36% for the week, up 2.5. The real story here is, how did this person know to put millions of dollars into Trump's coin, and then an announcement comes out, and then we get a pump? Y'all let me know what you think about that. It sounds like some insider stuff here. Definitely sounds like some insider stuff. So one of the main things I want to talk to y'all about today is about the government. As I mentioned, Gary Gensler was the former lead of the SEC, right? He was the former leader of the SEC. And now we have different leadership in the government. So we want to talk about what's actually happening. First, give y'all a little insight onto the SEC. It's for those who don't know about it. So here we go. The SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, these are two different organizations in the federal government, are key U.S. financial regulators with overlapping jurisdiction, particularly in crypto. And here's the main focus right here. While the SEC regulates securities and investor protection since 1934, this is the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, oversees derivatives, futures, and commodities. So that's like, options, that's other products that are derived from an original product. Futures, like, crypto futures would rather be like micro e-minis of the S&P 500 gold futures, and the commodities. They called Bitcoin and Ethereum a commodity, okay? And they called XRP and them securities. Remember that. So that's the difference of what's happening here. And why do I bring this up? I bring this up because there's been a interesting conversation happening between these organizations. Here's a story from AMB Crypto. Is U.S. crypto regulation about to get simpler? All about the latest SEC CFTC move. U.S. regulators' coordination efforts signal a gradual shift toward clearer and more structured market regulation. That is exactly what we want. This was a post by the CFTC X account. CFTC and SEC Gov announced historic memorandum of understanding between agencies. So remember, the CFTC has treated core assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum, as commodities, particularly in the derivatives market. But what we've seen before was SEC was going after XRP. And remember, XRP beat them in the case, Gary Gensler and them. So they're considered not a security because you don't want to be selling unregistered securities. And that was the big battle for the last few years. So essentially, what you want to see is, let's read a little bit on this here. What's interesting here is, let's read it. Regulatory fragmentation has already pressured crypto firms operating across U.S. markets, as platforms offer both spot trading and derivative products. They often navigate overlapping compliance regimes. This complexity becomes clearer as market activity expands. In 2025, regulated crypto derivatives reached nearly $3 trillion in notional volume, while early 2026 volume rose 46% year over year. That's good news, highlighting strong institutional demand. At the same time, infrastructure providers and stablecoin issuers continue scaling operations under increasing policy scrutiny. Meanwhile, bipartisan debate in Washington signals growing urgency to clarify regulatory authority. Beyond U.S. borders, the competitive landscape continues to evolve. The European Union's MiCA and Singapore's MAS framework and the United Kingdom's FCA approach already provide clearer licensing paths. As these jurisdictions attract firms seeking predictability, coordinated U.S. oversight increasingly becomes essential to retain innovation. So here's the summary. Bitcoin and Ethereum sit at the center of regulatory divide as the overlapping SEC and CFTC oversight continues to create compliance uncertainty for U.S. crypto firms. Growing regulatory coordination aims to reduce enforcement overlap and strengthen the United States' competitiveness in global markets. Essentially, the SEC and CFTC wants to make it easier for crypto. And this makes sense coming after the Clarity Act has passed, which makes it good for stable coins, okay? Then they're working on the Genius Act for stable coins. They're currently working on the Clarity Act. If we can get banks to act right, we can get a Clarity Act to pass. And now we hear the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, formerly with Gary Gensler, working with the CFTC, Commodities Futures Trading Commission. If we can get them to come together, something on my shoulder, come together and create a framework that crypto can just, boom, talk to both of these organizations at one time in one office, you get great compliance. Let me know if that makes sense. That's something else that we need in crypto. Definitely what we need in crypto. Now, speaking of the big wigs and institutions, definitely want to talk to y'all about Ondo Finance. It's been a while. They have to navigate all kind of different compliances. Let me know if y'all like Ondo Finance in the chat or in the comments when you watch. So Ondo Finance has been cooking lately, and I want to play some stuff here for y'all. This has been interesting to research as I got ready for today's stream. So here's a post by Ondo Finance. The biggest names in finance on tokenization, a paradigm shift. These are the quotes. A complete game changer, a tremendous democratization. Democratization. Okay. DTCC, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, S&P Global, and Wisdom Tree all agree. Tokenizations democratizes access to the world's most important markets. I'm telling you, y'all about to come at me. We're going to have some trolls in the comment, but he don't even know how to talk. I'm ready for y'all trolls. I'm ready. I love when y'all pull up. So I want to play this video for y'all.
I think is going to be a complete game changer.
I think that this technology opens up more optionality for how individuals want to be able to manage their financial lives.
Getting access to yield on U.S. Treasuries or getting the ability to have and save in dollars. That's a tremendous democratization of access to some of the world's preeminent and most important financial assets.
The cost of trading goes down because the speed of trading goes up, my scale goes up, and I can pass those savings through to the underlying consumer, both in terms of smaller subscription sizes and in terms of lower costs.
You can access any asset, any place in the world. And that's something that we see having a true democratizing effect on financial services.
The attributes of a token, that you can fractionalize it, that it's global, that it's programmable.
That is such a paradigm shift that traditional finance is just not ready for. You can have these assets live self-custodially in your wallet, in customized investment portfolios. Down the line, agents and all sorts of programmable entities are going to be able to use these assets in ways that we can't even imagine right now.
So I like what Ondo's video talked about right here. They essentially cooked for us. Franklin Templeton, these are some of their partners, some of the biggest financial companies in the world. Obviously, Larry Fink and BlackRock. He's always talking about tokenization. Hearing them saying this is something where we can pass on savings to customers, pass on these profits to people like you and I and those institutional people in the institutions. We want to hear those type of things. Democratization. This is opening up access to everybody, because remember, we want crypto to be for everyone. Okay, especially the people who's already building positions right now. We want more capital, right, to flow into the markets. Rock and Roll says, cool, 100%. Throw a shaka for you, 100%. So we want it flow. So they're all basically in line with each other, the big wigs and the finances, because they want more people in, because they're building and they want more revenue. We want more revenue in the blockchain, more money to flow in general, so that way we can all eat. So I like what they're saying there. They're putting out the videos, and if you get these type of big names and institutions, all they do is attract more, and more becomes more for all of us. Now, here's another post by Ondo Finance. Why Ondo Global Markets is winning. So you got 200 plus tokenized stocks and ETFs. So you're talking about NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple, Bank of America. You got all these big companies, right? 200 plus, and ETFs as well, gold, silver ETFs. Billions in volume, millions of trades, tens of thousands of on-chain holders. I love that. Liquidity inherited from public markets, live on Solana, BNB chain, and Ethereum. These are three of the top, basically 6. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, XRP. This is 3 of the top 5 that they're working with. 60% of the market share and just getting started. Okay, that's some big baller status right there. And this is also interesting, you guys. This is interesting. So this is basically a RWA pie chart, okay? Ondo, like they said, 60% of the market, 558.3 M's on there. X stocks. I remember looking at that website, 200, and then you got Securitize. These are the three big dogs. Then you have Wisdom Tree, Super State, Opening Bell, and then Robinhood with a slither. I imagine the tokenized asset portion of all this, the world's largest tokenized platforms, are going to grow bigger. Okay. So Ondo global markets is larger than every other platform combined. So they have made a bold statement. Will this translate to the Ondo token price going up? I hope so. That's all I can say. Has it? No, not right now. But most of crypto has been going down. Usually when the market turns, a coin like this with great fundamentals or a platform like this should get more interest, especially from the bigger institutions. So this is looking good. Since launching in September of 2025, so still relatively new, Ondo global markets have quickly become the largest tokenized securities platform globally, with over 600 million in total value locked, more than every other platform combined. This is underpinned by 60,000 plus cumulative asset holders across Ethereum, Solana, and BNB, trading more than 12 billion in cumulative volume. And then, so basically, Ondo's number one because of deep liquidity that scales across hundreds of assets, near zero slippage at size, instant mint redemption, and then broad selection of asset categories. And they also have OSUG and another fund that lets you invest in treasuries. So again, then they break down what this all means, okay? And mint and redemption. So what Ondo doing is whipping the pot for tokenized assets, and it makes a lot of sense, y'all. It makes a lot of sense, and I like that. Again, let me know what y'all think about Ondo Finance. And now we got somebody they want to talk about it. So let's see. I damn sure hope so. I've lost my butt with Ondo so far, my butt. But when I see they had the Ondo Summit, and now I see what they've been doing behind the scenes, man, it looks good for the near future. Listen, I lost mine too. I've been in Ondo, and my position is beat down, considering if I should just dollar cost average down. But I still think Ondo, like I said, fundamentally, I think it's a nice, nice infrastructure, a nice platform with Ondo fundamentally. But I damn sure hope so. I've lost my butt with Ondo so far. I agree. A lot of crypto has kicked my tail recently. So we still here though. And then I'm thinking, like I talked to y'all before in the last video, I'm thinking we bottomed out and we should be trading sideways for a while. That's what I see in the charts. And Ondo, as for sure, you need to go up in price, okay? That's my word. All right, so if y'all got something else, definitely let me know. Now, this next one, I told y'all we'll be talking about Ripple, XRP. I want to give y'all an update because it's been a while since I looked at Ripple. So here's a post by Ripple, XRP. Exciting milestone for Ripple in Australia. Ripple is obtaining an Australian financial services license. They got licenses in all the states, many countries. It's kind of impressive, very impressive. And they've been making great business development purchases. As we continue to bridge TradFi with the next gen of digital infrastructure, regulatory compliance remains the foundation of everything we build. So let's see what they talk about here.
APAC continues to lead in digital asset adoption and innovation. We're seeing real momentum with financial institutions and with banks. That's why securing our Australian financial services license is such an important milestone. Customers in Australia will be able to leverage Ripple payments for real-time settlement, global on and off ramps, and last-mile payouts, all managed end-to-end with Ripple. With more than 75 licenses worldwide, Ripple continues to lead on responsible regulation, and APAC is a major driver of that growth.
She said 75 licenses worldwide. They in compliance.
We're excited to keep building across the region and to support the next phase of institutional adoption throughout Asia Pacific.
Okay. Ripple said they going to town on licenses. I ain't mad at Ripple for that. I am not mad at Ripple for that. I'll tell you right now. That's a smart move by Ripple. It's acquiring companies, dealing in foreign exchange. They got the Portugal, Brazil thing going on. They're in Singapore. They got the stuff going on in Dubai, New York, Texas, California, all the biggest markets. They are now tackling Australia. Smart move on the Ripple's behalf there. I'll give you that. Now let's get to this next one. This is a customer profile from Bitso. Okay. Bitso looks like a Spanish, maybe South American right here. Let's see. So the problem, they show expensive cross-border payments. The solution, Ripple payments powered by RLUSD and XRP. So XRP pays the transaction fees. It's on the XRP ledger. RLUSD is a stable coin backed to one-to-one. And that's what they're using is the XRP ledger and the token for the transaction fee and speed and finality. And then they are converting the money to RLUSD and then switching it back when they get over there. So that's pretty much what they're doing. Bitso is transforming Latin America settlements with Ripple regulated stablecoin. Near instant US Latin America flows, regulated USD denominated liquidity, no more costly pre-funding. Okay, so let's check out.
The journey of innovation for stablecoins is really just the beginning. It's reimagining how money moved around the planet.
Well.
I am Gabriele Zuliani. I lead the revenue and sales for Bitso Business. Bitso Business, a company founded 11 years ago in Mexico, originally as a crypto exchange, created a second new business line, which is dedicated to B2B money movement. We are trying to solve the ultimate challenge of moving money across borders, which has been hindering the industry for the last 40, 50 years. When Bitso Business was created, there were two very obvious use cases in LATAM. One was remittance and the other one was volatility of the local currencies, both of which were immediately found as great solutions addressed by blockchain and cryptocurrency and stablecoins. The whole model used to happen in days, if not weeks. Rather than going through 4 or 5 different hops and waiting a week for my money to land on the other side of the planet, I can do it like this. And I do it with stablecoins instantly at almost zero cost. So this is where the adoption is coming. And honestly, we think it is the tip of the iceberg. Adoption is really boosted by knowledge and by regulation, understanding how stablecoins work, where are the reserves, how you're being audited and everything else, which created the trust. It's really transforming the way money has been moved over decades, how we can make the life of those corporations and company moving money B2B easier with a faster product and better service is so exciting.
So that was definitely clear example of what Ripple is doing. And then Timothy Garrison said, thanks. Oh, most definitely. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I think this is definitely some important financial innovations happening right now. So that was pretty cool to see that Bitso, what they're doing, essentially moving money, okay, in seconds across borders. The liquidity is flowing. People are able to receive their paychecks, their bills, and I think, again, one of the most important things you can have is the US dollar spreading. And again, as I talked to you about the clarity, the Genius Act, rather, okay? The Genius Act, that is US Treasury backed, US dollar backed. This strengthens the dollar, y'all. And even if you're not in the US, you probably want a dollar. It's the best currency you can pretty much get other than a euro, okay? Bullish, we are in the right place. Oh, most definitely. This is definitely bullish. Definitely bullish. So this is good. Some good stuff by Ripple. So I'll be definitely keeping more tabs. Again, if y'all want me to keep more tabs on Ripple, put a yes or a fire emoji in the chat, okay? Put a fire emoji in the chat, or a yes if your fire emoji is too hard to get to. All right, and then this is the final post before we check out one more thing with Ripple. So we got 100 billion plus processed, okay? 60 plus markets, 51 real-time rails, RLUSD at $1 billion market cap in under a year, they say. Ripple payments bring it all together. Fiat, stablecoins, 75 plus licenses, so businesses can move money globally without the patchwork. I'm like, dang, they over here doing it. They over here doing it. I see what they doing here. I see you, Ripple. So you got stablecoin access, Tether, Circle, Ripple USD. You have on and off ramps, MoonPay, Ramp, and Ripple. You got virtual accounts and wallets, Bridge, BVNK, Ripple. Processing payments, BVNK, Stripe, Ripple. Payment orchestration, Bridge, Zero Cash, Ripple. Custody, Fireblocks, BitGo, Ripple. Payments, Fireblocks, Circle, Ripple. Wallet as a service, Fireblocks, Ripple, BitGo, blockchain. You got Ethereum, Solana, XRP. Why are they pointing this out? What they're saying to us with this chart is the stablecoin payment landscape. Ripple is in all 9 categories that they identified. All 9 categories that they identified. Stablecoin access, on and off ramps, virtual accounts, custody, payment orchestration, payment processing, payment networks, wallet as a service, and the blockchain. They're saying we have this whole thing built out. You can be only using Ripple and their products, the XRP ledger, paying transaction fees in XRP, using their stable coin and all their wallet and infrastructure, which is all in compliance and license. I ain't mad at y'all. I'm not mad at Ripple. I'm liking it here. So if we go look at it on the chart, this is the weekly, and this is what I was talking to you about, the RSI, Relative Strength Index. It's a good indicator to use. We want to see on the weekly chart, you want to see Ripple get above here on the weekly chart and have a few closes, which is basically $1.60. You want to see Ripple get above $1.60 with a few closes on the weekly. RSI heading back above 50 would be great. So this is not looking bad. And if you go look at it from a daily perspective, Ripple looks like it has found a bottom. And this is what I mean here, this area right here. This is an area of importance that you want to clear about $1.60. Then I see more upside from Ripple. That's what I got for y'all for Ripple. That is what I got. They talking about their licensings, their use cases all around the world. They building out full infrastructure with the Ripple. And as Timothy said, we are in the right place. Bullish. We are in the right place. I agree 100%. Ripple looking really good, though. Looking tasty. And then we also talked about Ondo Finance. Gave y'all some updates about what they're doing with tokenization. Make it make sense. They say we're going to make it make sense. Billions in volume of tokenized assets. And the platforms that I like what both of these blockchains or these infrastructure platforms are doing, they're making it global, not just in the US, but they're shipping the US dollar, they're shipping US equities to other parts of the world. And what does that do for an American like myself? It allows global capital to invest into what I'm already into. And then it helps the United States ship technology, ship assets to the rest of the world and complete the full circle of the global economy. And then obviously we talked about in the very beginning, the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, being in harmony and unity with the CFTC, which is the Commodities Future Trading Commission. The government working with each other is what we need for cryptocurrency. We want the bull market back, y'all. We want the bull market back. So that's what I got for y'all today. Again, C-Will with the Passive Income Network. I appreciate y'all for tapping in and picking up some of this information that I am laying down. Until the next time, y'all, see you in the next stream. Peace. Passive income, gold.
in my dental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals. Told my girl it was simple.